Okay, are we ready for the next one? I think that my videos may be messing up, actually. Huh? Oh. Number 16. 12x minus 3x plus 11 greater than 4x minus 17 minus 9x. Now, a few things I want you to notice. If there's something on the outside of the parentheses, you distribute it. If you have like terms together, combine them. We'll do that in a second. So, well, like on this side, what's 12x minus 3x? 9x. So I could go ahead and say that's just the same thing as 9x plus 11. Is everybody good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Then here's my greater than sign. Now, I'm going to bring down my 4x, but I must distribute. It's basically a negative or a minus. So that becomes a minus 17. And what is this negative times basically another negative? So that's a plus 9x. That minus sign changes both of those, is what it does, to the opposite. Now, over here, can I combine anything?
It's just 0.
Yeah, 4x and 9x. Those are like terms. So let me just bring everything else down. And 4x plus 9x is 13x. And then I brought down my minus 17. Then what would I do? I always look at my variables.
The 17.
Look at your variables. I would move my variable first. Yeah, I think it makes it easier. And yes, I would move my 9x. So I'm going to subtract it since it's positive. If you moved your 17, you still would end up getting the same thing. You're just doing it a different order than me. So 11 greater than, what's 13? 13x minus 9x. There we go. It was 4. It was, no, 13x minus 9x. I started to say n. I meant to say x. Then what do I do?
Move the 17.
Move the 17. Add 17. So I get 28 and a 4x over here. Then what? One last step. Divide by 4. So I get a 7. Okay? Now, do your answers look like this? No, they have their variable written first. I prefer that as well. So they just flip the whole thing. X is, read it from here, less than 7. X is less than 7. Okay? Are we ready for 17? Are we, Are we getting tired of solving inequalities yet? It's a x is less than 7, a positive 7. Thank you. Okay. Are we ready for 17? Yep. Are you still writing? No. All right, 17. 3 times 2x minus 4 greater than or equal to 6x minus 20. All right, what do I do on this one? Multiply. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's exactly right. 6x minus 12. Do y'all know where we got that? 3 times 2x and 3 times 4. I'm going to bring everything else down. Now let's move our variable. Which one do you want to move? It's the same thing, right? So if I subtract 6x, I'll bring, I know it's weird, it cancels out, but I'll bring everything else down. Is negative 12 greater than or equal to negative 20? It's bigger. Negative 12 is actually bigger than negative 20 because it's closer to the positive numbers, right? So, if this is true, what's our answer? All real numbers? Yeah, that's right. It's all real numbers. All real numbers. I'm going to abbreviate. I'll write down number 18. If y'all have any questions, y'all let me know. Are we good with that one? Our next one, before I start moving things around, do I have any like terms over here? What's 10x minus 7x?
3x.
3x minus 10 and 3x minus 2. What do you notice about the 3x? They're going to cancel out, but I'll subtract them from both sides. So they cancel out, and I get negative 10 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Is that true? No. Negative 10 is further away from the positive numbers, girls, so it's actually smaller. So that one's going to be no solution. Okay. Still several of these left. I don't know how we're doing on time. 9:41. Okay, we're doing okay on time. You hate number 19? It's actually a break from all these other ones, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 19? I couldn't have picked that.
Number 19. It says, what is the set of the whole numbers that are less than 5? So we want to list them in roster form. What are whole numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4.
0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, those are less than 5. So which one lists 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4?
B.
B. You can already tell B should be the answer. But let's check the set builder notation. X, where X is a whole number and X is less than 5. That's exactly what we were looking for. Remember that weird thing? It's the only one that looks weird like that with the X and it lists everything and it has the bar. Okay? So it's B. I don't think that one's as bad as y'all thought it was. Okay. Question. Yeah. Does anybody have a question on that page? We just finished page 2. No? We're good with that one. Okay. Let's keep moving along. Number 20. 2x minus 8 greater than or equal to 6. Y'all, it's the same thing we've been doing. We're going to solve it. They just write the answers different. But let me solve it like normal. What would I do? I would add 8 to both sides. Y'all should be getting really good at this solving as much as we've done. 2x greater than or equal to, what's 8 plus 6?
It would be 2, negative 2.
8 plus 6. They're both positive. 14.
Oh, 8 plus 6.
Then what do we do? Divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 7. Now, you'll notice that they don't write their answers that way, but there's only one answer that says that, and it's D. They write it like this. This is set builder notation. Okay? X is your variable. X is greater than or equal to 7. That's all that says. X is my variable, and it's greater than or equal to 7. Okay? They use the words such that, but you don't have to know that. X, such that, X is greater than or equal to 7. 21, I like this one a lot. I noticed some of y'all missed this on your worksheet. Well, here, this from a while back. Let me make sure everybody's caught up real quick. 21 and 22, they're kind of a break from all the inequalities. Okay, so here we go. 21, list all the subsets. So all these things that it could be. First of all, I've got both of those numbers. Yes? So I'm looking for an answer that has both of those numbers. Okay? Now, let's look for an answer that lists each of those numbers. I have a negative 6 and I have a 7. But don't forget, I could have what? None of them. So which one is that?
B.
B. Don't forget about the empty set. It's just saying, what are all the pieces of this that I could have? I could have none of them. I could have just the negative 6, just the 7, or I could have both of them. Okay, does that make sense? It's like all the little pieces. Okay, does that make more sense now? Like, what could you get from this? None of it. I could get a -6. I could get a 7, or I could get both of those. Okay, all the pieces. That's what that's talking about. All the subsets. All right. Number 22. It says, okay, we have this big set of numbers here, and set T takes up the -10, the -6, and the 0. So what's the complement? What's left over? What are the numbers left over? -2, 3, and 5. That's what they mean by the complement. Okay. What hasn't been taken already? Do we get that? So that one was A.
One is B.
All right. Are we good with this?
Well, that is pretty much the same, whichever ones that haven't been taken.
Yeah. So on your paper, if I were you, I would just mark through them. Like, okay, -10, -6, and 0. I would mark those out, and then you could see, okay, these are the ones that were left. That's what it means by the complement. All right. Moving along, 23. Okay, on number 23, it's the word and. So I can write my variable between the two numbers. So here's my variable, and I'm going to write it between, what's my smaller number? -2, and my bigger number is 2. Does everybody understand that? You write your smaller number on the left, the bigger number on the right. We'll do that on the other stuff, intervals as well. Now, it says greater than -2, and y'all, if you remember, it always is going to point that direction. They're going to point the same way. Greater than -2. If I read that, x is bigger than -2, less than 2. X is less than 2. That just says x is between those two numbers. X is between -2 and 2. And if I graph it on a number line, let me write my numbers. Okay. Open or close circles?
Open.
Open circles, and I'm coloring where x is between those two numbers. Okay, that's how I would do that. Are we good with that? Yes? Good.
What makes it have, I know because it's worded like that, but 2 signs?
When it's got a compound, and it's going to tell you a compound. Think of a compound sentence. You have 2 subjects or 2 predicates, like, because you'll have the word and. That's what makes it has 2 answers when it's got the word and or. But it's going to state on your test compound inequality. That's when you know you're going to have 2. Okay? Like this one, what are solutions of the compound inequality? How many answers are we going to have? 2. Okay? Let's go on to number 24. I'm going to write it, oh, y'all know that. I'm going to write it separate from that, so that I have more room. I'll write it here. Number 24. I'm going to solve mine together. Some of y'all split these up, but I'm just going to solve it like this. Do y'all see that I have 2 separate problems? 2 separate inequalities. It's a compound. It's 2. So this right here is where my x is, and I want to solve for x. So what do I move first, the 4 or the 2? The 4. So I'm adding 4. Here's the thing, though. I'm adding 4 to both of my inequalities now, right? I'll add 4 to both of them. And let's just keep bringing everything down. What's -2 plus 4? 2. Bring down that sign. Bring down my 2x. Bring down that sign. And what's 8 plus 4? 12. Any questions on that? Does anybody not understand? Because I had to add that 4 to both of the inequalities, okay? Move it to both of them. What you do to one, you have to do to the other, all right? And it's a compound, so now there's more steps. Am I done? Huh? No, we don't subtract 2. We.
Or add 12.
It's.
Subtract 12.
Nope. What's in here with the x? This 2. 2 times x. What are we going to do to get rid of that 2? What's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. I will divide everything by 2 on both of my inequalities that I have. Okay? So I get 1x, and yeah, that is 6. So x is between what two numbers? 1 and 6. Now look at your graphs on your paper. Okay? Is it an open or a closed circle at 1? Closed circle at 1. Open or closed circle at 6? Open. It doesn't have the equal to sign. So you're looking, where is x shaded between 1 and 6? It's C. Okay? It's C. Look at the numbers. Does everybody see that? And you can look up above it. You'll see x is between 1 and 6. It's also in the answer. So is everybody okay with 24? Any questions on that one? Yes, no? 24 was C. X was between 1 and 6.
So do you do the same thing for 25?
Yep.
How you just did that?
Yep, 25 is the same thing. Y'all ready for me to go over it? Okay. 25. Negative 20 less than 4x minus 4 less than 8. Okay, so on this one, kind of the same steps. What am I going to do first?
So subtract, add 4.
Yep, because what we're looking at is this right here, where my x is. I'm going to add 4. So I must add 4 to all that. So I get negative 16, 4x. What's 8 plus 4?
12.
12. Okay, then what do I do?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4. So I get negative 4, x, and 3. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah.
If you don't want to miss this, you don't have to go. It's your time to teach your dance. So it's your whatever you want to do.
She'll be okay, I think. Okay, so x is between negative 4 and 3. I'll go ahead and graph it, y'all. Yeah, I don't think we have very much longer in class, do we? Okay, so if x is between negative 4 and 3, they're open circles. Do y'all know why they're open circles? Yes, because they don't have the equal sign, and I'm coloring between them. Okay, we finished another page. Okay. Well, I have some that want to take the test tomorrow, and we've still got 5 minutes. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So I'm trying to get through as much as I can. And y'all, I really think, didn't we do from 31, didn't we do a lot of those yesterday?
We did 31.
31 through the rest?
So we need to do the back page short. We didn't do 26, 27, 28.
Yeah, well, I'll do number 26. And y'all, we can finish tomorrow just because, if you want to start your test 20 minutes into class, you could do that. We can finish this, then you can study. I'm, easy going this week as far as that goes. Okay, 26, here we go. A student scored an 83 and a 91 on their first 2 quizzes, and we need to find out what the third one's going to be, right? If I average those, what do I divide by? How many of them there are? How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3. Yes? Does everybody understand that I would add the 3 scores and divide by 3, and that would be my average? Yeah, I don't know the third one yet. If you read through, you'll see what could the third one be. So far, I think you can narrow down your answer choices already. Okay, 83, 91, the quiz I don't know, and they would divide by 3. What's the highest score that she wants? A 90, so she's expecting around a 90. What's the lowest score she would want in the class? An 85. So you're looking to be between the 85 and the 90. You should be able to tell your answer already. I don't even know. Let me see. Yeah, 26 is A. Okay? Now, do y'all want me to solve it though? Or
Just do 5.
yeah, solve it. Okay. If I was to solve it, I would multiply by 3 on all of it so that that 3 would cancel out. What is 85 times 3? And then over here, what is 90 times, oh, I know that. 90 times 3. Now, in this middle part, what's 83 plus 91? I'll just tell you. It's 174 plus x. Does everybody understand? My 3 went away because I multiplied it to everything. And I just added those two numbers together. Then what would I do to solve? What's in there with the x? A plus 174. So what do I do to solve it? Subtract 174. Okay, and that should give you, what was it, 81 and 96. She hopes to make somewhere between an 81 and a 96 on that test, okay? Are we good? So, y'all, I know I didn't finish, but it is probably, y'all got
You still gotta take the picture.
that picture. Oh, yeah, okay. So, we'll take y'all's picture. Let me,
Is it ready?